Despite a recent drop, one car is still stolen every 37 seconds in the US, coming up to more than 1 million stolen vehicles in 2023 alone. I'm Oli, and let me show you how live video monitoring can help protect your car dealership and a mistake you absolutely need to avoid. Let's head to the template. Here are 4 problems that we want to highlight considering car dealerships. Open outdoor inventory, exposed 24/7 that can be easily accessible for thieves. And once someone reaches inside, if they have access to keys, it's very easy for them to just steal a lot of vehicles. Service-based vulnerabilities. Yes, a car is expensive, but even just the parts can be the targets of thieves. And something that is more a challenge for video monitoring companies, the fact that it is a large perimeter with limited coverage. And I will also highlight the most common problem when people try to save money. But first, let's start with some services. First is the AI threat detection. It's any AI that could trigger an alert while looking for a threat. You have live remote video monitoring, so the moment something happens, someone at the command center validates that it's an intrusion, you would have a live talkdown. It is most of the time the moment intruders just leave. And if they keep going, this is where we could call the authorities. You could also have license plate recognition. Not only you could have a database with every vehicles at your dealership, you could also watch the entries and the exits, and if there's a license plate that goes out when it's not supposed to, could trigger an alert, so live video monitoring companies could make sure it's not going too far before it's stopped by authorities. You could also have an electronic key box with a full audit trail of who takes the keys and when. Remote gate control could also be linked to a license plate recognition. So when someone wants to get out, the factor that would determine if the gate opens is the validation of the license plate. Here's one of the most common problems that people make when trying to save money is the difference between perimeter detection and volumetric detection. So basically, perimeter detection is about having a camera trying to look for the entries and the exits. At the edge of the site, unless the person is cutting a fence, AI won't really have time to determine if it's someone with bad intention. Even if you can see a rectangle surrounding the person, it doesn't necessarily mean that the AI had time to analyze the subject. So really often people would try to use perimeter detection when the budget doesn't allow a full coverage. But here is what you should do. Instead of having a perimeter detection, you should have a camera looking at the exact place that your cars are usually stolen. For example, one car that is really often stolen is an F-150. So have a camera that looks at the area where all your F-50s are. The thief doesn't have the choice but to be in that area enough time for the AI to understand what is happening. First off, the AI will trigger. Second, the operator will know exactly what's happening. Third, it's way easier to convince the authorities if you have footage of what's happening instead of just seeing someone enter the site. So it is the most common problem, and that is exactly how you can fix it. Okay, so now what happens if a trigger is sent to the command center? The operator reviews the replay of the intrusion and has access to live video footage, and then he will use a vocal intervention. Really often doing it twice, making sure the person understood and is aware. After the 2 voice interventions, we can either call an emergency contact or dispatch the authorities depending of your procedure. And once the incident is done, you will have a detailed report of everything that the operator did, footage of the incident, and every information for you to understand what happened, where it happened, and when. Here's a technology provided by Sirix that is not too expensive, especially if you don't have any system currently on site, called the Autonomous Security Box. You have the cameras, the systems, a strobe, a speaker. It's also wireless, no cable runs, and you can move it any places depending on what you think is best. Again, not at the entrances, but looking at the area where you could be victim of a robbery. What really are the advantages of having live video monitoring for a car dealership? Avoid theft, avoid false alarm fines, and also lower your premium insurance prices, because we know insurances might be strict in terms of security, and it can reduce the costs from 5 to 20% depending on the security level you have. Also for customers, it makes them feel more safe letting their car in your care, and also can prevent false claims from them. So that's it for car dealership security, and if you have any more questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon!